Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Quiet day today in the Fed's blackout period, so there's not a whole lot of US data either, but we've got residual problems with tariff headlines we need to look out for. All right, let's get stuck in and let's get going there. Now, as we look at the calendar today, we can see it's very light, with Powell having spoken at 1:30. Last time I checked, he hadn't said anything on monetary policy, which is correct because it's in keeping with the Fed's blackout period. So there was nothing there. He was speaking on remarks to a banking conference, but there was no comments that he made on monetary policy. So with that being said, very light on the calendar. We've got Bowman speaking later, but he shouldn't be speaking on monetary policy. And if we take a look at earnings, you can see that Tesla's earnings are coming out after the close tomorrow, and Google. So big day tomorrow, and something to look out for after the close on Wednesday. I'm just going to shut my door. Now, the broad outlook is markets are beginning to focus in on that 1st of August deadline to do with tariffs. And the risk here is that the tariff deadline comes and a number of countries aren't able to make a deal, and then you get some retaliatory tariffs. That's a particular concern for the euro. So just be aware, you can suddenly see some euro risk. There are some member states in the eurozone. Remember, the eurozone is fragmented of a number of different member states. Some are asking for retaliatory measures to be placed against the US should a tariff deadline pass. So watch out for the euro suddenly weakening. If we take a look at, where is it? Yeah, if we take a look at the CFTC positioning, we can see that hedge funds have been building in their long positions. Longs continue to build, and the open interest is stretched to the upside. So, can there be any more upside in the euro? I think there's a lot of risk for some downside in the euro, but tariff concerns are still weighing on the dollar. And you can see that the general worries about tariff uncertainties continue to put pressure the dollar lower. So that is lifting the euro dollar and lifting dollar pairs. That remains the situation. Looking at equity markets, right, you can see that S&P 500, NASDAQ, all making fresh highs. The broad outlook is taco, that Trump always chickens out. So equity markets have been quite complacent that Trump will do that. And that has been supporting equity markets. But the risk is that if there are some retaliatory tariffs, that could be worse. And so again, we'll look out for those headlines, spiky trade on that potential. Looking at the bond market, we continue to see some bonds being bought. There was a bit of a surge higher in UK gilts, particularly the 30-year bond. And let's just, that was markedly higher. And that little tick in 30-year yields got the market's attention. And that means borrowing costs are more expensive for the UK. And that's just been continued to weighing on the pound during this session. Now, is it really tradable? I wouldn't say that it is. But, a gun to my head, maybe euro pound upside. But the pound is the weakest currency at the moment because of that steeper borrowing costs and concerns about, tax hikes having to come for the UK. And that's weighing on the pound. Yen, again, strong, same as narrative of yesterday. Nothing particularly tradable. In terms of tradable opportunities, we had a nice flag breakout on silver coming earlier in the session, right? So we had that head and shoulders pattern, and then we've had a flag breakout. Price moves higher, flag pullback, and there you see breakout on volume. Very nice move. And again, measured target moving up somewhere to the $40 an ounce. And crucially, if we can take out these highs, that's great. Now I've got my longs in silver and I've added to them on that head and shoulders pattern. And this looks like further upside. So nice little trade in silver that I'm continuing with. We'll look to carry on to build in any breakouts. And the copper trade is moving nicely in profit. You can see here that it's pennant breakout on balance volume moving higher, and that remains an upside buyer. So metals trades remain the name of the game. Euro pound, I think what to look for here would be, I think, just some kind of clear break here. So if price does break higher, Euro pound upside wouldn't be unreasonable, but I don't like this. I have seen some people talking about Euro pound upside. I don't like the Euro pound upside at the moment because I think the Euro risk is there. So I'm sticking with my metal trades for now. Now, if we take a look at the E-mini as we come into the session, look at it on the daily chart. You can see price here, buyers trapping sellers here, but there are some sellers there. Price holding above this region. If you look at the on-balance volume, it's been more negative. We've hit up to that value area high today, and we're staying under that pivot point. So the structure is really quite neutral to bullish. Do you see how the price is just sort of coiling here underneath previous value area highs? Value area high, value area high. We're staying at those value area highs. And you notice in the last couple of sessions that there's been sideways overlapping movement. So it's kind of like a big balance area. And you can see here, this is finding a balance. So where do we see an imbalance? A tradable opportunity is if we can push up and above that value area high, or down and below through that value area low, and maybe even below this region. So really looking for a clear breakout here, something to give us an opportunity to go long in. We saw that yesterday, didn't we? We saw a drop down to a value area low when it was here, and we saw it push higher, and we took some longs yesterday as we pushed up. So it'll be the same outlook today. It's up, down and away, down, through and away. So we want to go with the imbalance. Otherwise, fading value area highs to the value area lows from side to side remains legitimate. Now, looking at the hourly chart, right, buyers have been able to trap some sellers down here. And looking on the 15-minute chart, let me just check the hourly that I'm not missing. So on the hourly chart, we have this, we have this area here. So quite a nice potential area for longs. Delta is positive from the Globex Open. So 6343, right? So this area here, I do like for potential longs. So if I get price dropping down into this area here, I'm happy to consider longs. And you can see here, and even down to those areas as well. So looking for a move here, maybe up to there would be nice. But if we can get above this, let's just see which region that is. If we can get above this region here, then we've got a potential to run up higher and move back into that value area. But for now, holding above that value area high, but price has been quite neutral and sideways. So we'll come back at the open, but as it stands, I'm looking to potentially buy in from any move lower here, particularly see those sellers trapped in here. So we'll move down to that area. I'll be looking for buyers on the tick chart and then looking to take it higher. So that's my outlook. We'll be coming back nearer the open. For now, I'm just going to wait and see where we go. All right, folks. I'll be back just before the open. If anyone's got any questions, just ask away. It's just a bit quiet today. There isn't a whole lot on the data front. All right, folks. I'll see you in a bit. I'll just make a cup of tea. Any questions, I'll pick them up in a bit. See you in a bit. Negative from the Globex Open, 15-minute.
And more from Chancellor Reeves. She did say that global factors are pushing up the cost of borrowing.
Okay, I think I'll go for a short here if I get underneath these buyers on the here on the tick chart, if we can get underneath them. Okay, if I get buyers trapped here, I'll go short. Yeah, short. I like that. So that's kind of the target, really. So let's just see if I get any further. I'm just gonna move it to break even. I know it's very tight, but I mean yeah, I'm out of break even really. So that was the right area to go short. It's just that's your target. You haven't got very far. So let's see if it carries on further. And if it carries on further down, I'll go back in it again.
And next on the calendar, and just under 10 minutes now, at the top of the hour, we are looking out for the Richmond Fed for the month of July. Composite index that last time came in at -7.
Breaking out under that area, so that's good. You're looking like you want to break out of this. That's the thing. Okay, let's see. I'll have another go at this. If I get underneath this area. Right. I'm going short here, looking for a breakout play, essentially. Okay, we've got a bit of a breakout. Can we get any further on it? There we go. We're going lower. Be very careful with this one because it could just snap back on you. Okay, there we go. We're moving in the right direction. All right, if I can get down to that value area. So I'm probably going to take this off in a minute. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, I've just taken it off there. Quick breakout trade. There may be more with this, but I just wanted to, oh yeah, okay, would have hit, you got this next value area, so that's your target, you see. Tricky when you get this kind of move. It just keeps going, it's always the way, isn't it? Right. Okay. And that's just tearing away now. Look at that. Okay, so. Look at that. That's just dropping. Wow. Crazy, eh? Okay, moving to another value area. Wow, look at that. It's just really deep falls, eh? Just going through single prints here. Not spending any time on these. Okay, so I'm heading to that S1 pivot point. Now we're seeing a little bit of a recovery. Bit of a snapback coming. Now finally above that second standard deviation. What a move, eh? Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're still okay. Let's keep looking at this because delta is very negative, right? So if there's a pullback here, back to that standard deviation, then I don't see any reason why not to look for some more shorts actually. So let's have a look. Some 1 minute buyers there, trapped. On balance, we're now trying to pick up. Now let's see what happens over the standard deviation. Now let's just see what's going on in these value areas. So a pullback up to that value area wouldn't be unreasonable. Let's just see what we get on as a close. So you've got sellers coming in. Delta heavily short now, got buyers trapped up there. So selling from this 3333 region makes sense. You've got pushing through that value area, you've got point of control from the previous week. So selling from that region makes sense. Hourly close coming up. So bounce and sell. Yeah, that's fine. Right. 3 minutes. 1 minute. Hit the standard deviation. Right. Now let's see. Do we get any sellers here? Right, I'll sell here if you get any buyers, trapped. So we've got some buyers trapped, so I could take a quick sell. There we go. Okay, there we go. Just taking that off. That's reasonable. Quick, wasn't it, Najam? Look, as soon as those buyers were trapped there, look, the moment they were trapped, ping. Well done, Adair. Few entries short, very short time. Came at 7. Adair, that is spot on. That's exactly the right thing. Hit your target, walk away.
Again, the Richmond Fed.